Alright, for me mo bibia akọ abashonko eba possible TV GH. Me didi sa adom ni ahwe into Nyankopon adom ni nyina ye ho ye. Me din Eddie Francis Achu aka possible. Onim se dwumadie we so de di kan na di tie fa amanyon nsem a etwagu wo man Ghana mu na bre na edom square ko hwe bi na di bi aba beso mo. Indi kwan so me no ka so di ba ku bi adrop na adom square akọ hwe bi ensa ka bi. Onim se ensa kan so de ya sade se no eche. Yenko tie nsem e wo audio.
Kai 2020 we are still finding na yako ade friend global pandemic mo ahochere by ema yare COVID-19 eba we are still mansan na Ghana yenso ebikaye na kaye no na wo se aban etu anamon eye ntotoye bia ede ahoto ebebre oman no na afei ye be protected lives and also businesses inti ema aban to anamon bebre because na pandemic enya dia na ewiase obi anim se COVID-19 ebeba enti enya dia aman bia e plan say me twa se ka to the best of COVID-19 because na yenim se COVID-19 yare bi beba enti yare no ba ye no na akoye aperapere na wo se aban epe kwan bi so na opesika na ode sika ode toto COVID ho nyoma no nti COVID ba ye resisika aban eko the contingency fund mu eko yi 1.2 billion afei World Bank group omo fund interventions Garrick SEC MIA 357 million, that is $65 million. Fast track COVID-19 facility MIA $35 million, and no Odiba Ghana Skama 204 million Ghana cedis. Fast track COVID-19 additional facility $130 million. Fast track COVID-19 additional facility $200 million. IMF also MIA $1 billion. Odiba Ghana Skama 5.5 billion Ghana cedis. African Development Bank and so MIA 398 million. European Union MIA 569 million Ghana cedis. And now Bank of Ghana erezi a different COVID-19 bonds or call market ecoton COVID-19 bonds, so erezi 10 billion. And afi government other governments abanya hodo and so MIA 2.1 billion. Inti sika o my Ghana yenyan during the COVID-19 pandemic no nani nyina ye 21.8 billion Ghana cedis, which is a huge money. Neja abanya say sika we no e kwan ban na ban e fa so edi sika no e de toto COVID-19 yare no ho nyoma e de bi support to your economy no na ye nyina ye be kai say enche ye e na ban call IMF for say ope a 3 billion facility under a program. And the IMF for say okay ye di kan ma sika bi dada enti before ye be ma sika foforo bi no e o se wo ko na koye audit na kire ye COVID-19 sika na onya ye no ana ma audit sika ni 2 ye wo ba na ya hwe na ye hunu se yenso ye be ma program foforo ana se ehun be hia se edi sika foforo be hye wo nsa ana it is how audit report here be enya ban na kotena se no so or your report because mbe kaya last year civil society organizations ye kan wasem say there we need the COVID report. We need an audit on the COVID expenditures because you hunu say ban to anamon bebre expendisika bebre but you hunu ehon report o man ni sika aban ko gi sika we nyina wo Ghana for dimu enti ekwane aban for so edi sika no yen your responsibility yen right say ye be hunu how aban efa so edi sika no ye kan ho bia aban emfi until say IMF for as part of the staff level agreement how many aban sign ye afeno one of the conditions included say aban be audit the COVID-19 expenditure. Yes. And no and am auditor general ko mu wakoye sa audit report yaba na jakwabna minya abotre with my team now you go through this report one after the other page by page jakwabna I am share say ye disika be ma ban e wo yare din mu eja kwabna nya sa asempa e na aba enye se Ghana ye winning lottery bi e na ye nya sika e na ye de ehwe ye ho e yare aba eja kwabna kai se yare e ba e so e be kum nipa families elusu o ma de share yare e bon nkofo man nkofo so fai ama ebi sebe nyame a anya doma enka sebe o mo hwere o mo nkwa enti yare COVID-19 nya enije sema e ba Ghana eninti ehun sika ba e wo se aban etena se yesika no basabasa edi sika no basabasa se the aban edi sika no according to the Dinos report
o kaso didi basabasa as chene sense o didi basabasa wan find bia
e jacob na me be chirim aban say 21.8 billion e ba ye no o spending mo 11.7 billion e the year and the COVID no into 11.7 billion na aban say o the COVID no say na aban say odi no e jacob na aban e wo system bi ye fe no give miss so give miss yi eno ene dey track aban expenditure say aban e sika under any contract under any payment bia the payment and say the payment must go through the give miss system. What for audit report now? Sikanko aban tuaye amfa give me system nim 543 million Ghana cedis. What it means, they say this money is not accounted for because the give me system have been provided. Said the ya you bet me track aban sika bia odi. Negetimi ebu ho contact that. Aban COVID-19 ba ye no aban edi sika no 543 million Ghana cedis. Utia outside the give miss. Not just say Akuffo bi na kotuna ba bi kukuru sika. These monies cannot be accounted for. Out of that 233 million utia ma service providers for say or the accommodation, evacuation of Ghanaians, supply of fuel. Because at the end of the day, if these expenditures are legitimate, they must go through the give me system for proper checks and balances. According to the Dinos report, ebio aban kukuru Ghana yensika $120 million say or the cut off vaccines no ko ye no emu otua sika ni we emu $38 million per ene baye e baye no diaka $81 million dollars now of worth of vaccines no emaye from 2021 besine yo 2023 mo emaye abansun to one amount and now me Ministry of Health issue statement say your friend is saying now vaccines no omunim baby on store vaccines no and afi Akuffo bi donate vaccines bi ema omo enunti na $81 million worth of vaccines ometuaka na nso emaye Jacob now. That is the most lamest explanation or excuse for what has happened. Because vaccines, no, during the pandemic, I might be donating vaccines in Ghana. Countries and so donating vaccines in Yakai, German for my vaccines and chair. And before you make any procurement for vaccines, you must know, say, okay, this is the amount of vaccines that I'm going to receive through donation. Ghana, a little over 35 million people. And you need, so Obiabe taking vaccines now, you need at least 35 million doses of vaccines. My country way am our vaccines. Alibaba foundations are donating. German friends of corporation through the German government are donating. Countries way Pfizer for our trial vaccines. We okay, can you na boom. Vaccines are being through donations no boom. Oh yeah, no deficit no. How much more vaccines do I need? Then you order based on your need. And the Ministry of Health now say any other vaccines that we don't need.
Now one more anye sa adi then excess one more anye the needed
because one statement no more they buy and say vaccines no not vaccines no not countries be donating vaccines ni be amaye dada. It one more order omo die no na omo need baby on store vaccines no. So be other vaccines are mawa because before you make any order or procurement, one of the principal things you must be sure is a storage facility. Because the vaccines are perishable commodities. So before you ordered $120 million worth of vaccines as Minister of Health, accountant, Dr. Kwakwajima Menu, one who say vaccines and me order the quantity I can be able to provide proper and adequate storage for.
And I want to say what the bike say. You are ready by to prove and every vaccine could do by Ukrainian day. I may was a crana netono idea momentino, almost caracoto, say Abia, I'm so much boom. Send Abia, Scana could be one quite the way and I say Abia me here do be a mechanic with the Bama first because Mr. Cow ordered that. And you're reasonable. It's
Adena says there, Anna or must supply $38 million worth of vaccines. Now $81 million now can 2 million 2 years ni or scan. Because it's very clear that you don't need that $81 million of additional vaccines. In terms of what is the supply or say product ababeje? What supply product worth $38 million for 2 years? No one will say you don't need the additional product. What do? You go and collect your money. So why haven't the ministry take steps to recoup this money from where they want to buy the vaccines? That is not even the worst part. COVID buy, you know, a buy sign contract. A contract no called procurement. The tender review board my approval. ABBA contract ne buy you know. A do Ministry of Health, you know. And a ministry na kasa. Exercise contract or must sign. Ministry no exchanges canon EDB so. For example, on the 9th of April 2020, Ministry of Health signed supply contract of personal protective equipment. Now contract sum near 4.8 million Ghana cedis. And a PPA ma approval. What we do ministry na contract na sisa could do 5.6 million Ghana cedis. Almost 803,000 Ghana cedis. Titisika 8 billion on the toso.
No, why not the toso?
Ministry na the toso according to the General's report. Without PPA approval. What could PPA accord approval say? Who compare equipment, PPEs, personal protective equipment. What they tender we be we say supply never costed 4.8 million Ghana cedis. And a PPA more approval say go and contract. We buy no cost a secano. E the 8 billion atoso. Sa 8 billion e ko hwan botom. Enye no nko. Supply of personal protective equipment, and also 9th of April, the same day, supply of personal protective equipment, and also almost another contract for 4.8 million. And also could do ministry, not with the 8 billion at also. Another one, Ministry of Health, or supply of COVID-19 response plan, and also 4.8 million. One could do and also 8 billion.
So they are current. What's 4.8 million?
Okay, that is 800,000 Ghana cedis. That's it is 8 billion. Again, final payment for the supply of PPE for COVID-19 preparedness response plan, and also 4.8 million. It could do no more than 800,000 as also. 80 contractor Nanka, the total contract every 24.2 million Ghana cedis no. Eco do ministry no na a 28.27 million. That is almost 4,017,000 now toso. Without any approval, without any audit, without any checks, nothing. Ministry na the tenancy and almost pay a track contract sign and almost South African and almost chess Ghana chedi.
One fine about Bayen.
No, because contract sum this is the contract sum. A revised contract sum. Contract sum no PPA more approval as a contract 24 million. Who could do ministry ho? Simple surprises na necessary. E Jacob na PPA na call back. Say you back what be approval for this contract sum. You call no suppliers they say prices necessary. Eti ye de bi kakra to so. And na mo amotina se na mo de bi to so. 4 million Ghana cedis no muchedi here. That is not all. Ministry of Health say or pay your friend is saying or pay isolation center into Oko Adakulu Ekoji 25-year lease agreement worth 15 million Ghana cedis. Eja kwabna. For 25 years. Eja kwabna COVID eba edim fi sen. COVID yarea. Eja kwabna. I mean, ebeda o man so for
Ekoji lease. E was said then assassin lease. A
facility so the be isolation center.
Okay.
Ewa Addo in the Volta region. And otua 15 million Ghana cedis e de ma company no. Assassin da obi sin friends saying property that's obedience nipa ba ko mpo yamfa na nko nipa betim puti yamfa na nko and yetua o man sika 15 million Ghana cedis sika 150 billion Ghana cedis e yetua mo mo mundi kwa mfaso bi amaso enti se ye rakokwa jima menu se ni bottom sika ena ye de ma no so mfa ni djuma se ya anka sei no de beye eja kwabna afei ministry say wakotuaka for ambulances worth $607,000 ambulances eja kwabna ebesi ne ambulance ni meduye
nchichemo mo de ban wanti
eja kwabna nchichemo ni say the same way you go to sika for COVID vaccines ebesi ne yensanka vaccines no the same way you go to sika for ambulance besi ne yensanka ambulance
so mo ka say ambulance no almost an contract no December 2021 I think 2021 I stand to be corrected and I say ambulance ne ba January 2022 now so November na emaye and na omo kire say World Bank ba mu no mo kan say ambulance se na titie no and na supplier no so say it's some de niam afufuru bi ekeka ho say the ambulance no be complete until by March this year ebeba
Jacobna this is extremely untenable say wo per ambulances are e de normal kan ho na complete Jacobna ambulances na in the go your friend is saying Bema camp no Air Force base aban ambulance e de o man sika to
this is ambulance na papa anya up to standard
enti the omko fine up to standard and World Bank for mo be catch mo say ye equip no what is the logic here enti say who got substandard ambulances any ambulance na go Air Force base now say substandard no and give a contract to an auto company to come and refit these ambulances and use it into a municipal ye cry the cost ambulances hundreds of ambulances it go Air Force base e rotate man so double ambulances no now we could grow my sika they are called tuaka a very lame excuse because nobody is going to hold you accountable medical equipment sir we the COVID-19 sika kotoye worth $247,000 that's almost $1 million Ghana cedis over $1 million Ghana cedis at the time yasesa equipment no ede kind audit report na you say you allocate medical equipment no ede my hospital medical facilities at the central medical stores auditor general echo central medical stores no equipment ni ho oko medical facilities na ye assign and say allocate these medical equipment mo so nka equipment no equipment ni fine medical equipment ni fine fine. Medical facilities no were making a whole lot of complaints. Say, omuni PPEs, omuni equipment, omuni normal, they don't have the equipment. And Aban was making noise. Oh, we've supplied them, we've done this, we've done that. Auditor General say, you allocate medical equipment, a total of $367,000. Ayira, a 12 from them in medical central medical stores. Hospital I allocate woman sanka. Enti Akuffo bi na Sécrét ko mu akofa akotia di kwa medical equipment free. And this is how you use the people's money. Eja kwa bio medical equipment worth $110,000. Almost akoma hospital do or Medina. Is a friend Chris Leeds and Special Hospital. Hospital na enya ban facility. Hospital no so enhwe COVID-19 patients.
Na say remember hospital no a year no.
Yenti hospital nka. Ejakwabna yenti hospital nka. Enti aban in what capacity And again, medical equipment is sikato. So they show COVID-19 patients because all these monies were gotten out of COVID, and it was for COVID-related expenditures. How did you allocate medical equipment worth $110,000 to a private hospital in Medina when medical equipment were allocated to government institutions or motion COVID patients or mokra de ayera or monsanka, but yetime kukuru medical equipment worth $110,000 at their common private facility? I just don't know how we are going to handle this matter.
Handle it, no send a minority say on bay humanity, Yama or Monash say, Obetway who be and a Brenusha, and see Sebako individual bondholders, no Swasi Mudia, and now we must end this Auditor General's report, you know, send a baby between Yako.
Yes, just 1 minute.
Sorry.
So, who share procurement or more yeah? Jacobna. A procurement or more yeah for medical equipment, machines, patient tube, IV stand lines, trolleys. I also think it cost $110,000. Or maybe now could do $278,000. Just say car or to say $27,895. You won't be basically free yet. Delayed payments, $158,000 Ghana cedis. COVID sika aba nyese sika no egu baby na ye changes can be bow. How do we receive all the money related to COVID? Now, so up to date, I bind the COVID-19 for at the sum of the payments a car. It's 11.7 billion or so spending, you know, what the year doing. Okay, all these corruption, thievery, and financial irregularities, Buboma. The irregularities in the COVID-19 audit report is worth 5.2 billion Ghana cedis.
And she said, "Mumu asipa for then I'm here for home."
Out of the 5.2 billion, that is a buy spend also spend 11.7 billion. That means 6.5 billion per and a buy ankasa ADD COVID hujuma. Emo 5 billion there, omu chedi kwa. COVID sikano emo 5 billion there, omu chedi kwa. And say na 10 billion e ka ye Jacob na almost say woman the year budget support Jacob na say abanya say sika we nyina e ye dan ye tikrom ha samri a me no kase o man no economy na tete apansam temamufo ho kire wo mo aban say enkofo investment o mu savings no de ne say ba be ka e dey solve that problem no. This is how much money COVID gave us. If COVID gave us this money, then a bank catcher is a COVID and I do mind a problem about. Because clearly from the Auditor General's report, it just said COVID was a blessing to this country. Because the we would not have gotten these monies but for COVID. And Abanya says this can we are going to take steps. Some of the infractions it will go to the special prosecutor. We are going to send petitions to the special prosecutor. Some of the infractions we are going to petition the Attorney General. The Attorney General must take action. But a huge and some of them, the one that deals with conflict of interest will go to Shraj. So in the coming week, we are going to file multiple petitions at the Special Prosecutor's Office, at Shraj, and also to draw the attention of the Attorney General to, with immediate effect, initiate criminal prosecution against all these individuals, especially people from the Ministry of Health, and also at the Ministry of Information. According to the Ministry of Information, FASO, allowance worth 151,000 Ghana cedis. Wabra nurses need doctors. Womu ejina front line ano na omo ku suffer all the risk. Womu yetu omo allowances saying Ministry of Information could do upon command na so what ministry was say the COVID-19 aba omatina omo lanku se mo akọ adwuma enti so mutu omo ho a risk allowance of 51,000 Ghana cedis.
So almost all the banks are say yes na etie
and yes, so why the Auditor General captured it? Because audit, and yes, Auditor General in office, so he goes to the ministry and audit your books. And when he audited your books, this is what the Auditor General found out. So how do you come and say, and yes, saying they must be able to come out and tell us. Then the conflict of interest, how are insurance of medical and health personnel, enterprise insurance, that matter will also be investigated. How, in what competitive tender did they do before awarding the insurance of medical personnel and pay those sums of money in huge premiums to enterprise insurance? At the end, insurance company will come say. We must know. When we know, say, the finance minister has interest in enterprise insurance.
Yes, sir, if they are qualified to execute that job now, they tell them come on money. It's necessarily say.
Article 278 of the 1992 Constitution or say a public officer in the performance of his functions must ensure that his personal interests may not conflict with the performance of his functions. Who minister, who now your chief paying officer, who show money seek so, and our insurance company. And think BBC about bank what you kakra because of conflict of interest. Now another company because the insurance company no, a company team. You say problem be bar. That's a woman minister and say we take action to take the insurance company on. You may be reluctant to take that action. And that is why it is important to say you don't mingle your personal interests and your private enterprises with the performance of your official functions as a minister. But Kenuforiata, he flouted these regulations with impunity. He does not care. And he went ahead and he paid those huge sums of money to his own personal company to provide insurance facilities to frontline workers.
Saa nsɛm a ɛkɔ so nyinaa no yɛni nhyehyɛ bi ɔhɔ a mbutumi gyina so de aka sɛ sei ɛna mmara ne kyerɛ sei na wɔyɛ ne mmara ne bɔ abira ɛna sɛ ne mmara ne ɛnhyia ɛno nti no yɛmfa ne fa ɛdɛn na mo ayɛ de afa saa nsɛm yi bi a waka yɛn nyinaa ho.
And I make us say all these are going to form part of the multiple petitions that they call SHRAJ, Office of the Special Prosecutor, and also to draw the Attorney General's attention to it. And I don't know, it will be interesting to see the Attorney General's legal opinion on these matters, because on a ban lawyer say a buying a concern contract be a woman de a home craft about him say a buying person offer enterprise insurance now of my frontline workers insurance as an Attorney General who is privy to the ownership structure of enterprise insurance and the interest in there. What sort of advice did the Attorney General give to the Ministry of Finance and to government in terms of the procurement of that insurance contract? It will be interesting to see all those reports, and I'm sure we're going to take practical actions on that.
Yes, sir.
On the issue of the individual bondholders,
you were just about, I think, 9 minutes.
I think, sir, if there is any doubt, say the individual bondholders should reject this debt exchange program. That doubt should be cleared by this COVID-19 audit report. Say Aban has been so reckless in the management of the finances of this country. Say Aban has been this reckless according to the Auditor General's report there. Then it is not the individual bondholders and you Ghana for and able pay for the recklessness of Aban. And I want to use this opportunity to talk to every individual bondholders. We've been doing some work on it. May I sure say more Samray obey the pressure so say more accept a bank debt exchange program. Do not accept the debt exchange program. Reject it. More amadi kan yakọ je edi kan tre akọ aban ho say more accept that. Na mu ni the information available now no. You are sending letters before format be their mamo. Mun go through those letters a letter withdrawing your consent and acceptance for the debt exchange program. Mon printing sa letter no, na mfa mo din mo bank din enso so. Na mon fan call mo bank is ho. Say you are rejecting the debt exchange program.
Okasa wo mo nya ne saa. Adenti na okasa mo nya ne saa sense bebi o man na duro no. Ye tibia bi mu. Tibia na ewu mu no. Aban susu say ye said ne betumi aboa. Enti nyina nka mu na ye anya saa ade na be say kura. Enti say be say kura. Ene say aban say ye de say betumi aboa no. Ade ne yemfa ne say ye betumi aboa na ye mmoa ma enyi since better say na say aban say e be say kura no. E be kokko say kura.
Jacob na ye free be good faith. Be di kind. Sa aban e pe say Ghana for ye boa no. Na the debt exchange program na all you know. Eko enkanya. Also show good faith. What is good faith? Jacob na. Mess na yet crisis na you see solve no. You have Aban and you have the people. Aban na kasa must show some level of commitment before he can have the moral right to ask any citizen to sacrifice their life savings and investment for this debt exchange program. I will say Aban na kasa show commitment. Sacrifices. Jacob na 2023 budget no. Does the 2023 budget strike to you as a buyer or crisis mo? Hwesika pudua aban atamso okodi only at the presidency. I friend of budgetary allocation to office of government machinery. Look at how much money Aban is going to spend. Look at some of the reckless expenditures, including allocation to this national cathedral. Ejakwabna, sika Aban say ope in this debt exchange program no. So Aban every man move 5 billion from his own budget by cutting down on expenditure. Until say Aban na kasa de ahoma be bo ne yam. No wa cutting down on only expenditure. Now I say indeed we are in a crisis. It's a man kasampo me de ahoma bom yam. It's a mo Ghana for mo fam bom yam. Nobody is going to give them any audience in this debt exchange program. Ejakwabna bio before Aban eba be catch Ghana for say your crisis mo. Now the only way he can solve that crisis is to take away our money, our life savings, our sweat and blood. Yesika ayabre ya sam fifre enyade akoto bank. The only way or say obetimi solve economic problem is say obefa yesika. Then Aban must show young Ghana for say what were the options or consider here.
Say we see on yesika offer and as say na nkese me de ma odase esan 1 2 3 timi fa ma odase me tremu de ma odase ne edase na se na be choko
Jacob na forget about it sika no omofa wo be the 78 years this sika that bank why investment be mature this year also the be money 15 years na the power 78 years no way Jacob now what is the value of that money in 15 years sometimes look at inflation is almost 60%. In 5 years, the value of that money has been wiped away. What are they talking about? Forget about the gimmicks. All they are doing is trying to steal people's investment. And 2% offer Ghana for Yesika. How to solve the economic problem? You must show to us, prove to us, say, that is the only way. And so you tell us, say, okay, I considered option A, B, and C. And I came to the conclusion, say, option C is the most viable option for me in terms of this debt. For instance, debt restructuring. Until Aban is able to tell us the options he considered to come to the conclusion, say, taking our life savings is the only way he can resolve this economic difficulty, we won't give them any audience. Nobody should go and sign that.
Bosumi awie and almost share kwan say na ka so 2 weeks ago and na ka say yetumi nyanti ase wasasemi ho na bade na otwumi no aka ho nti bosumi awie na saa hye mo hwe kwan say esese eye adwuma aka ne fa be ye na 27 aka ne fa be ye miensa na say 9 nti by Monday or Tuesday no esi yetumi nya asemna no pomase bre per the way an yema ekoi ugiri say ibetumi nti asebe ye adwuma awo individual bond the stakeholders say omno nsha no nti asebe betumi aye adwuma na if you say say come association of bankers credit credit be babontin say the Aban no ne finance ministry ye na se wɔn nyinaa kɔ bankuro mu ni na so fo so wɔn kɔ bankuro mu ye na se wɔn awia na se
Jacob na enye adwuma